25 Years of Terror is a documentary, of course, about Michael Myers and the Halloween film series. Now, this is very interesting. It's 2 discs. The first disc is you have the main feature, which I enjoyed a lot. It talks about every single Halloween film in order with the directors, the producers, and the actors that were involved in each and every single one, which is the format that I like. They talk about John Carpenter, how he not only came up with the idea of the first film, but how he did the score himself, the music of that film, just that carried on throughout the whole series. Classic.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure. The only reason she babysits is to have her.
And then the sequel, how much more bloody it was, how John Carpenter got afraid because every other horror film that came after the first movie was more gory. And some people might say that the original was better because it showed less is more. I see their point, but I still feel like Halloween 2 of the original series is my favorite. Then they talk about Season of the Witch, which I agree with what they said. If that movie was a standalone film, nothing to do with the Halloween movies, it would be better well received. As a part of the series, doesn't quite work.
He's here to kill that little girl and anybody who gets in his way.
Part 4, they went back to the basics. They brought Michael Myers back, and since Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back, they brought in her daughter, Danielle Harris' character, and Part 4 is a really fun film.
Oh, God!
Who's gonna be next?
Part 5 just sucks. It sucks. That's all I'm going to say about that. Danielle Harris, interesting to hear her talk about her stalker, how she has a stalker, and she was even afraid to come to this convention about Halloween because who knows, he could just show up and no one would even know what the fucker looks like. She also talked about how she didn't want to do Part 6 only because not only did she not like the fact that her character gets killed off, but she said to herself, well, if I'm going to get killed off, I'm going to get a decent amount of money for this. And it was her 3rd time, or would have been her 3rd time, coming back to the series. But they said, no, we're just going to pay you the same rate that you got in the first film when you were fucking, like, what, 10 years old? That's bullshit. I don't blame her for not coming back. Part 6, the theatrical cut, is like, oh, it's okay. And they talk about the producer's cut, which they say is a better version, all this stuff. I have since seen the producer's cut, and I ranted on that. I have a rant on my channel about Part 6, the producer's cut, because I think the stuff that's in the producer's cut is so deplorable, so damaging to the Michael Myers character in more than one way, that I just don't understand how you could say it's a better film.
Maybe nobody knows how to stop it.
Anyways, H2O, I like that Jamie Lee Curtis came back. I would have loved to have seen John Carpenter come back to direct it, but he wants nothing to do with the series, it seems like. At least he's on the documentary, though. That's cool. And the fact that H2O, them having 3 different masks throughout the film because they just couldn't get it right, or they kept changing it. Yeah, when you watch that movie, it's pretty obvious how different the masks look and how horrible one of them at least looks. Like, one of them, I remember they said CGI. Like, what the fuck? Even if you have one bad mask, stick to that one. I don't want to see 4 different versions of it. Halloween Resurrection, it's well documented how much I fucking hate that movie, and Busta Rhymes and all that super bullshit. Karate kicking Michael Myers. Who thought that was a great idea? Who?
Fuck with me? Huh? Fucker.
But them killing off Laurie, I just don't really care for at all. What I find most interesting is that this came out well before Rob Zombie's remake. So there's a lot of talk of them saying, what's the future of the series? And some people are talking about Michael Myers versus Pinhead. I don't know. I don't really think I care to see that. On Halloween 9, there was many ideas floating around about Sheriff Brackett getting revenge for Michael killing his daughter. That would have been interesting. There's just so many ideas that even fans were throwing out there at the convention on what they wanted to see for Halloween 9, that it's kind of too bad we didn't get that. Especially how they have that one part where there's a fan who won a contest to be in Halloween 9. And I don't know what happened now. Was she in the Rob Zombie remake? It's a walk-on role, but should probably look into that. Now, the cool stuff, disc 2, is a lot of the extra stuff. You see a lot of the panel for each Halloween film that came at different days for this convention. They're talking about it, the actors, they're talking about their experiences, what they think of the movie that they were in, and then they take questions from the audience. This is cool stuff. Conventions, I don't really think I personally am a big conventions person. I never really had any interest in going there, whatever. I mean, unless it's someone that I just really want to meet, which is probably only a handful of people that meet that description. But watching the extra stuff, you really do almost feel like you're at the convention, or you get a nice experience with these actors from the Halloween series. Halloween is a series, a horror series I do enjoy. I don't know if I'd say I love it, because there's a few films in the series that I don't really care for, but the ones that are good are pretty damn good. If you are a big Halloween fan, if you haven't seen this or bought this, then you definitely have to. It's a must-watch. If you have seen this, let me know in the comments below what you think of it, or if you want to see it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!